Hey everyone, it's Ryzen.
And Liz.
And welcome to exactly what I said would happen. The Jets destroyed the Patriots.
24-3.
It's a miracle they even got 3, frankly. They almost gave up 300 yards again on defense. Look, the defense, I think it's safe to say, is not what was advertised.
No.
They are mediocre at best. And that is a massive problem. They have virtually no pass pressure outside of Keon White, who is now injured, so now you have nobody.
Yeah, they have mounting injuries on defense.
And Christian Gonzalez has not been good the past 2 weeks, so that's not good either. And Duggar has regressed as a player pretty significantly. They benched Marco Wilson because he was so disastrous, so he didn't play this week. But, the secondary has not been good.
No.
And the defensive line has not been good, and the linebacking core has not been good. McMillan replaced Bentley. I thought he was terrible.
Yeah, losing Bentley is going to be tough. Between losing him and Barmore for I'm going to say the whole season.
I would say forever, because it's very few guys come back from blood clots. I know Andrews did. That's an exception.
Right.
To the rule. Because you can't come back until you're off of blood thinners.
Right.
Anyway, they basically had no good drives they had 2 good drives that ended with the
disaster.
The first one was Jacoby Brissett's drive. I think it was the third quarter, but he took another inexcusable sack again. It's third down, you're in field goal range, and he drops back and just holds the ball for 4 or 5 seconds. He actually had some time to throw, and he doesn't even throw the ball away. Again, for a guy that was advertised as smart with the ball, I'm not seeing it.
No.
Sure, he's not throwing interceptions, but he's taking sacks that don't make any sense.
He's got this fear of throwing an interception, I guess.
Yeah, he is deadly afraid of throwing a pick, and you can tell. And what he's doing is he's refusing to throw the ball.
Yeah.
It's weird.
I know.
The first big third down, there was an all-out cover 0 blitz. Stevenson was in a block release route. He was wide open for a check down throw that would have gone for 40, 50 yards.
Yep.
And Brissett doesn't throw it.
Yep.
Inexcusably. He's looking right at him, and it's like, oh, I'm under pressure. I'm just going to take the sack. And that's getting really old really fast.
And that's why they benched him at the end of the game.
Yeah, they did bench him at the end of the game. There was another play where I know the pressure was very, very quick, but Douglas got open very quickly. He was wide open going to the left, down a go route, left to the left. It was either a go route or some sort of inside route. But doesn't throw with anticipation because apparently he doesn't trust Demario Douglas.
I don't know.
He's your best receiver.
By a mile.
And he was in one-on-one. And you could have thrown the ball to the left, and when he cut, he would have made the catch. Or at least you would have given him a chance.
Yep.
And that wasn't the only time. There were plenty of times where there were guys open, and he just refuses to throw the ball.
And just doesn't, I don't know.
Because anytime there's anybody remotely around him, he won't throw the ball.
Yep.
He will eat the sack or just throw the ball away, even when there's guys open. And it's just, I don't know how tenable this is. I really don't. Basically, their offense is as bad as last year, minus the "what the hell are you doing" stuff, like lateraling at the end of a game.
Right.
So and why are you just throwing directly to a corner that's looking at you?
Right, stuff like that.
So minus that stuff, their offense is just as bad. And by the way, Stevenson's fumbling finally cost them.
Yep.
You don't address a guy holding the ball too loose. These are things you should be fixing before they bite you.
And this time it did.
So, Jacoby Brissett's stats, 12 for 18, 98 yards. You threw the ball.
It's pathetic.
You threw the ball 18 times when you were behind the entire game.
It's pathetic.
98 yards. They handed the ball off 15 times.
And the Jets were blitzing, and they were lining
Yeah,
up a lot of
they were
guys
run-
up in the front. Like they could
They
have
were run blitzing. There were definitely throws to be
They
made.
could have thrown the ball. They were playing really soft on the secondary.
No, they're scared to death of the line, and I get that it's terrible. Which, by the way, that's Ella and Elliott Wolf.
Right.
They had the most cap. They still have an insane amount of cap.
They could go out and sign some
You
free
could
agents.
literally try to make a trade or something to address this line.
They certainly could, yes. That is definitely in the realm of
Because,
possibility.
I mean, what are you going to do? Like, they're afraid to start Drake May because of the line. You think you're going to fix this line in the offseason?
No.
You have to replace at least 3 guys because Andrews is going to retire. You're going to have to replace Michael Winwoo at right tackle because, I'm sorry to say, but he's been terrible at right tackle.
I don't know.
Unusably bad. And then you have to replace your left tackle, which has been, several guys. Useless Lowe or even worse, Caden Wallace.
Right.
So you're going to have to get a left tackle as well. And maybe a right guard too. I don't know. It depends on if you can move Owenwu back to guard or not.
Right.
I mean, City Sal is good, I think. But, that's basically all you've got.
Yeah.
And then you wasted a pick with Layden Robinson, who's very good, but you're going to have to move Owenwu back to guard at some point.
I know.
Which wastes that pick. So, I don't know. This line is terrible.
All the problems with the line come down to all the boneheaded decisions that Belichick made over the past few years. Yeah, it does.
Not re-signing Joe Tooney.
Letting
That's where it
Shaq
goes.
Mason walk.
Letting Shaq Mason walk. Inexcusably bad decisions. Not drafting a left tackle, 3 years ago.
And that's haunted them for years.
Drafting Isaiah Wynn.
Yep.
One of the worst tackles I've ever seen play. And the sad thing is, he might actually be better than what they have right now.
Sadly, he probably would be.
Seriously, Caden Wallace is the worst left tackle I've seen in the league this year.
That's why they benched him.
He did
3.
No, he did 2. Yeah, he did 3 holds, but 2 in a row. And Andrews held on the first play. There was seriously a drive that was a hold, hold, hold. I have never in my life seen 3 holding penalties, and they were holding penalties, on the offensive line back to back to back. That is not a thing that happens at the NFL level. It's just not.
You see false starts like that happen from time to time.
No, not 3 in a row.
Yeah,
I've seen a couple in a row, but I've never seen 3 offensive line penalties in a row. It just doesn't happen at the NFL level.
It's just bad.
It is inexcusably bad. So we are back to not only can the offensive line not block, and now they can't run block, by the way.
They can't line up.
They can't line up properly. They can't block without holding. They miss open blocks. There's miscommunication. So they're back to preseason level.
Anyways, let's talk about when they put Drake May in the last 4 minutes of the game.
Yeah, it got slightly better, but I mean, he still took a pounding.
Yeah.
I mean, they benched Jacoby Brissett, put May in. He went 4 for 8 for 22 yards. Almost threw a pick on his first play with a terrible throw, by the way. On a play, by the way, that had a wide open receiver for a touchdown on the left. I didn't see who it was, but wide open.
They probably just told him, just do this.
Yeah, they clearly called a one-read play, which is so stupid. I hate when teams do that. Like, if he had just been allowed to actually read the play, I would imagine he'd be good enough to see, wide open player on the left. That would have been a 60-yard touchdown.
Probably.
But didn't see it. And they didn't even call timeout to try to score.
I don't understand that either at the end.
You want to run a red zone play? No, you want to just give up?
I don't understand.
I mean,
that. At least it didn't end in like a freaking lateral or bullshit or something.
Yeah, I know. But like, I'm sorry, try to score to at least, see what you got. See if May can run a red zone play. No, they didn't. He just took a sack and then they let the clock expire, inexplicably to me. I just don't understand that at all. The running backs were terrible today. Stevenson, 6 carries, 23 yards, a terrible fumble. Gibson was slightly better, 5 carries at 29 yards, just not good stuff.
But he didn't run the ball until the very end of the game.
The only player that was any good today on offense
was
Pop Douglas.
That's
Mario
really
Douglas, when they've actually, designed plays for him, guess what? He's a good receiver. He got 7 receptions for 69 yards, 9 targets. He's a good player. I don't know why he had to complain for you to throw him the ball.
Hey, look, it worked.
Got nothing out of Henry today. 2 catches for 9 yards. Jalen Polk, again, I'm sorry, you're the number 2. You were taken in the second round, dude. You got to play better than this. You just do. That's not a good sign. Are we going to have another Tyquan Thornton?
I don't
Because
know.
that's what Jalen Polk is looking to me right now.
I don't know.
Tyquan Thornton, by the way, awful again. I don't know why he's still on the team. Butte had
A catch.
one good catch, I guess.
At the
for a
very,
couple of
very
yards.
end of the game, yeah.
Hooper, who's a Pro Bowl level tight end, has done nothing for them, which I just don't understand.
Yeah, he had the one catch at the beginning of the game. And, that
And
was
defensively,
it.
they were bad.
I guess if anybody was okay on defense, it was Jones when he broke up the touchdown. I guess.
Garrett Wilson only got 5 receptions for 33 yards. So it's not like Gonzalez was terrible, but he hasn't been what he's been. I mean, he gave him a touchdown today. Trying to go for a pick 6 instead of going for the deflection. But whatever. Rodgers torched him basically all game. Dinked and dunked him the whole game. And they never adjusted to it.
No.
I don't know what the game plan was, but I couldn't tell if they were deliberately leaving space for Rodgers to roll out because they thought his knee was no good, or if they were just so undisciplined in their pass rush lanes that they were terrible.
Yeah.
Because they left open space right and left all game long for Rodgers to roll out.
It was hard to tell what they were scheming up and trying
I mean,
to
it
do.
made no sense to me. I
Yeah.
mean, if that was intentional, what are you doing? It's Aaron Rodgers. Like, what are you doing? He's going to take that all day long.
I don't know.
If it's not intentional, holy cow, you need to fix your defensive line discipline because that's embarrassingly bad.
Well, they have a little bit of a break until
Until they get creamed by the 49ers.
by 100 million points.
I mean, the Jets were basically efficient. I mean, as far as the Jets are concerned, they kind of shot themselves in the foot at times, and that's
They had
basically
a lot
it.
of,
They had
a lot of penalties. Yes.
They actually played a sloppy game of football, despite the fact that they blew out the Patriots, which shows how bad the Patriots are, that the Jets played a sloppy game
And still won.
and still blew them out,
right.
which is crazy. Rodgers was good. I thought
He looked great.
his line was good, but they made sloppy mistakes.
Yeah, Roger looked, for being 40 years old, he looked good.
Yeah, obviously, he looked very good. Their running backs obviously were good. But yeah, they just made really bizarre penalties at times. A lot of personal fouls in this game too on both teams. Bizarre stuff.
Yeah.
But whatever. So next up is the San Francisco 49ers, where we will
Lose.
I mean, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They're going to lose.
Our battery is running out of battery.
So whatever. We'll cover that game. We'll do that preview for that game next week. But anyway, that's good for now. So we got crushed as expected. This is Verizon.
And Liz.
Thanks for watching. Take care.